All right, let's talk about header tags and anchor tags in this video. So let's go back to our code, and what I'm going to do over here is I am going to introduce a new tag called h1, and I'm going to close this one. Okay, now basically what it does is it increases the size of the text between h1. So likewise there is h2, h3, h4, h5 that you can use. They are headers of different sizes. So let me just save this, and once I open up this one and click refresh, you see that the size has changed. This is h1. Let's try out a couple of other things. Let's introduce h2, learn HTML. I'm going to write /h2, and let's look at h3, learn CSS h3, and let me save this, and I'm going to refresh this. You see that they are of different sizes. So it's basically the way you want to highlight a particular text in terms of size. Of course, there are other tags you can use. You can really control size of text using CSS, but this is basically used when you're using the text as a header. Next, I wanted to talk about how do you create a link. Let's start off with inserting a image, and then we can create that image when we can link that image to any other site. So if I want to embed an image over here, so what do I do? So HTML has a tag called img. Img stands for image, and there are certain parameters or attributes that we need to provide here, and that will basically embed the image into the web page. So first one that I need to give is the image source. Now this can be something which resides in your own computer. You can give path of your image, but of course when you deploy this whole thing to a server, you need to also upload the image. Next is, of course, you could refer this image to elsewhere. Like for example, I just randomly selected an image from Google Images, and I'm going to use this same link. Next, there are a couple of other parameters you can use. One is width, so I'm going to give that as 100, and height, and I'm going to give that as 100 pixels. There are a couple of other attributes that you can add. Like for example, there is something called as alt, or so what it does is if the image fails to render, right, it'll kind of give the user a tooltip as to what that image stands for. So you can give some text like this is an image. So it'll basically kind of display this image when you hover over the image itself. So let me save this and refresh it. So you see that this particular image was pulled from the link which I provided. And now if you kind of have a look at view page source, you see that this is the HTML that we just wrote, and this is what is interpreted by the browser.